If you've been following me, you know that last year I had this big Europe trip. I was going all around Europe, doing a bunch of things, seeing people, meeting people, traveling constantly, yeah? When I was booking it, I knew that at the tail end of it, I would be pretty exhausted. And I also booked Cyprus to be the last destination. I had 5 days in Cyprus, and because I knew that I would be exhausted by the time that I got there, I booked this grand 5-star luxury hotel to stay in, right in the heart of Ayia Napa, the party central of Cyprus. When it actually came to getting there, yeah, I actually was wrecked. I was absolutely wrecked. I was right. And so when I got to the taxi, I said, you know, I'm going to Ayia Napa. What hotel are you at? I said, Amarante. He's like, oh yeah, I know it. And he went off. And I was like, that's great. He knows the hotel. That seems like a good sign. Actually, it could also be a bad sign, but you know, in this case, it was a really good sign. The service was immaculate, it was clean, it was big. My hotel room had like my name on the TV, and they even had their own app that you could control everything in the room from it. I also had like this incredible view of the pool and the beach and the sunset. I had breakfast and dinner included. I was absolutely set. On top of that, the first night that I had dinner, I had met these British Cypriots.
Yeah. You're taping me now?
Yeah, of course.
Hello, Chris.
You're going to be part of it.
I'm going to be on...
You have a good personality, so you...
Oh, yes. This hotel is lovely. Chris is a good man, and I'm fixing him up with the waitress, and then I'm going to the wedding.
Come here. She thinks she needs a tan.
Coming to your wedding when I marry you off to that one.
They were incredibly funny and so much fun to be around. And so like I had company there as well. We had breakfast together, we had dinner together, we played cards, we played Gungo. I won every match. I'm not sure how fun it was for everyone else, but it was incredibly fun for me. So like I didn't have to leave this hotel, but this was the first time that I'd been to Cyprus. See, I wanted to go when I was younger. And when I was gonna go, there was this idea that I had to get like this exit visa from the Australian government to say to the Cypriot government, hey, you can't hold our citizen there. When you live in Cyprus and you're from Cyprus, you have to do mandatory military training. So I didn't take that risk when I went there when I was young. But this time I was like, you know what? I think the time's passed. I haven't seen or heard anything about it. So you know what? I think I'm fine. And so I went and I was fine. I wanted to go see Cyprus, but I was in this hotel. I'd spent so much money on it, way too much money on it. It just didn't make sense for me to leave the hotel and explore the country. But the thing is, Ayia Napa was like nothing that I'd expected Cyprus to be like. There were Brits everywhere and Russians everywhere. There was like no Cypriots in sight. When I expected to go to Cyprus, I expected to see like villages and people sitting at the cafe drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes and relaxing, and people going hunting for their own food and growing their own crops and farmland everywhere, yeah? Ayia Napa was nothing like that. It was suntan lotion and plastic. I had the opportunity to extend my trip, and so that's what I did. I extended my trip. So I was able to like get my rest in, recharge my batteries, and then go and live in a village.
As you go out, keep your eye on the road.
Bye.
Look after yourself. Bye. Lovely meeting you. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
See, my auntie's sister lives in a village in Cyprus. So she actually asked me if I want to go stay there. I was like, hell yeah, man. And so I actually got to experience village life. People sitting at the cafe, drinking Greek coffee, smoking cigarettes. We had fresh food all the time. We had drachana soup, which is like the Cypriot soup made out of grains, and the grains were from the village. It was like picked like, I don't know, a day or two earlier. We had lamb on the spit. The lamb had been butchered earlier that day. I even, get this, I even visited a Haloumi Factory.
Huh? Yeah, that's my friend, the owner. Yorko!
Γεια σου.
Here they put the milk.
Yeah.
They fold it.
Yeah.
The cheese is like that, and you have to put it like that.
Oh, nice. It's cold in here.
This one. And that is the halloumi.
The halloumi, Cypriot cheese.
So if you have a water lemon, that is the best you have. Either when you make a sandwich,
Yeah.
this is the best also. Either fresh, but hard, some people...
τούτο μουστάρι στα φίλη, τούτο έψιμα στα
You know what's that? You see the shushuko we have home? This one is the juice, you make that, the shushuko.
What do you say? This is Zivania.
Ζιβανία.
You know the one, yeah. And up here is a killer.
Yeah, this is like 80% alcohol. Oh, they're making this as well, huh? This is fresh grape juice and flour.
and then they hang it here. So they also put like almonds in it as well. Hang it from there. And there's also like a cake sort of version, which is softer. It's more fresh. So sun drying and then walnuts, yeah? Sultanas, yeah.
So everybody will the back now.
Yeah. Come back now. Like, I was living the life. I had finally gotten what I had wanted. Well, not everything. I'm someone, as you probably already know, or as you'll see in upcoming videos, who really likes seeing strange, mysterious, prohibited, dangerous places. And on top of the history of it all, I had already been curious about the Green Line. I mean, and how could you not be? It's a strip of land that runs from one side of the country to the other side. And inside that land, no one's allowed to go there except for the UN. It has places that are frozen in time in it. Even parts of the city of Nicosia are blocked off. Nicosia Airport is in the Green Line. There are like whole villages in the Green Line. And I was obsessed with wanting to go into the Green Line to explore it. A week or so before Cyprus, I had put out an Instagram story to my friends and family saying, "Good afternoon from Crete. Say hello to the goats on the mountain. I have a request." As I walk through this abandoned house, it got me thinking, I really want to go to the UN buffer zone in Cyprus. However, I don't know how I'm gonna get there. If anyone knows anybody who can take me to that zone, whether officially or not, I would love for you to message me and let me know, because I really want to capture some of what is there of the untouched 50-year history of Cyprus. Most messages were like, you gotta be careful, man. Like, you gotta be really careful. It's really dangerous there. The Turkish military, Cypriot military, they both overlook it. The UN might arrest you. So like a lot of concern, which is very good, right? But I did actually get 2 helpful messages from 2 brothers, actually. One of them said, "Hey, I know a taxi driver. He's mentioned to me before that he might be able to take me into the Green Line one day, so I'll ask him and see if he can get back to you." The other brother messages me and he says, "Our father is from a village inside of the Green Line. His brother lives in Cyprus and he might be able to take you there." I was like, done. Like, let's do that option, right? I get a Facebook ad shortly after, familiar face. Like, I've met this guy before. He video calls me. "My village is in the Green Line. I'll take you. Pick me up tomorrow." Perfect. I wake up early and I drive to a place that's around an hour away from the village that I was staying in. We have breakfast with his wife, toast and homemade watermelon jam. And we also have cucumber, tomato, olives, cheese, you know, wog breakfast, yeah? So when we get up to go, we get into the car and he thanks me that I'm taking him. And then I realize that he's not only doing me a favor, I'm doing him a favor as well. This actually means a lot to him that he can go and see his village. I also didn't know or realize or check the village is 2.5 hours away, so it's gonna be a long day. At this point, I start to get a little bit anxious. This is all getting real. I had planned what it was like in my head and I was like, this is gonna be easy. I go past the barbed wire and I film a couple things and then I leave. And I realized, like, reality, it's probably not gonna be that simple. Spoiler alert. On top of putting myself in danger, I'm putting someone else in danger now as well. So I started to feel it. So driving for about an hour and we get to this right turn, and behind that right turn is another right turn, okay? The GPS is saying go down the first right, and my uncle, I'm gonna call him my uncle for the sake of simplicity, but my uncle says to go down the second right. He thinks it's the second right. The GPS seems like it can get to the location, so I go down the first right, okay? We turn the corner and immediately, what do I see in front of me? Cops. There are cops blocking the road. Fuck, they know. They're gonna stop us from going. How do they know? I don't know how they know, but they know that I'm going to the Green Line. I'm paranoid at this point. And so I'm driving slowly, I stick my head out the window and I say to this cop, "Hey, sorry, I made the wrong turn. I'm just gonna turn around now." "Stop the car." I stop the car. "Turn off the car." I turn off the car. "Take out the keys." I take out the keys. I put them on the dash. "Open the boot." This is a rental. I actually don't know if I have to use the keys or if there's a button. "Open the boot." "Okay, man, I'll just open the boot." So I open the boot. One cop starts looking like under the car, one's like looking in the boot, and the other one's like walking around the car, yeah? I didn't notice straight away, but my uncle had opened the door and he's standing outside the door. Now, if you're a Cypriot, you're starting to freak out now because you know how much Cypriots love to talk and how much they don't take bullshit, even when it's not bullshit. So you can imagine how I felt, right? He asked the cop, "What's this about?" And the cop says, he says it to both of us. I can tell that he's saying it to both of us. "Where are you going?" That's a fantastic question. You know what? I actually hadn't thought about that question. And you know, that is a very good question. Where are we going? I hadn't thought about where we're going. There are a couple answers. There are actually a lot of answers that could be very good in this situation. Very simple answers that could be very good to say right now. We're gonna go and eat. We're gonna go to this place. We're gonna go to that place. We're just going for a drive. A lot of good choices, like millions of possibilities of choices that could be very good answers to this question. On the other hand, there's a very small list of bad answers to this question. One of those answers would be to say the name of the village that we're going to. So I open my mouth to say whatever is translated from my brain to my mouth, because I could say anything at this point and it would be a decent answer. I could say gibberish and it would still be an okay answer. So I open my mouth and it's too late. My uncle says the name of the village that we're going to that's in the green line. The cop responds, "You can't go there." I know I can't go there. That's why I was gonna lie to you, because that would have been a better answer. Honestly, there was a bit of a wave of pressure that had just lifted off my body, because honestly, he may have just saved my life. I could go back to the village and eat fresh shushuko with grapes that were crushed by my aunties days earlier. I could go and have a Greek coffee at the cafe and listen to Cypriot's bullshit about conspiracy theories all day. Life was gonna be good again. So I was a little bit conflicted. They start talking Cypriot, which is like the hardest fucking language in the world to understand, and I start thinking about the content that I'm about to miss. Great. I'm starting to regret that we can't go to this place now because of content. But then all of a sudden, my uncle gets back in the car and closes the door, and the cop goes back to where he was standing and he goes, "Let's go." Well, what did he say? They're looking for someone. Okay. So I go to turn around the car to go down the second right turn, and he goes, no, just go through the cops. I'm like, "Are you sure?" He's like, don't worry about him, just go through. Now that seemed like a bit of a Cypriot answer, overly confident and possibly not the truth. So I was a little bit wary, but I was complying. I was in the mood to comply, like we all should have been, but that's okay. And so I go through them and I start driving up the mountain, this mountain road. So we start driving up this mountain road. Now this road actually drives alongside the green line for a very long time. And like, it is beautiful. It's stunning. It's so nice that I actually forget what just happened moments prior. I decide that I want to stop the car. I want to go take pictures and take some videos. We drive up the mountain a bit. I stop the car. I go to the barrier, take photos and videos. And then I look down at the road that we had just come up. And so when I look down there, I notice that there's this white and blue figure driving up the mountain very, very quickly. Before I had the chance to throw myself off the cliff to possibly save myself, the cops are already there. So the cop that we were speaking to before gets out of the car and he says, "Do you need help?" "No, it's okay. I can throw myself off the cliff. Thank you very much." He comes up to me and he says, "Give me your ID." I give him my passport. "Okay, go in the car, wait 5 minutes." So I go into the car. 5 minutes passes, nothing. Another 5 minutes passes, nothing. Another 5 minutes passes and nothing. My uncle gets up and he's like, so I'm sitting in the extremely hot car and I notice that the cop finally gets out of the car. So I get out of the car, okay? And I go up to him and he's like, "Give me your other ID." I'm like, "Okay." I give him my driver's license. And he goes, "No, give me your other ID." Okay. I give him my international driver's license. "No, give me your Cypriot ID." "Mate, can't you tell I'm Australian by the accent and the constant desire to be surrounded by danger?" "No, give me your Cypriot ID." I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't have a Cypriot ID. So he looks at my uncle, "Give me your IDs." And so he gives him his IDs and the Cypriot IDs. "All right, go wait in the car." So we go wait in the car again. 5 minutes passes, nothing. 5 minutes passes, nothing. You know what? I'm gonna go take a piss. I'm gonna go take a piss too. That'll show them. So I go take a piss and I come back and I wait 5 minutes. Finally, he gets out of the car and he's holding my international driver's license and he's holding his phone and he's pointing them to the sun. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's trying to sacrifice me to the sun or something. So I get out of the car. I'm like, I'm over it, man. I am sick of this shit. I get out of the car and I go up to him. I'm like, "What's going on, man?"
Okay, you look at this crate.
He looks at me, he looks at the identification and his phone, and he looks at me again and he goes,
You are looking for the one killer.
"I'm a murderer." Oh my God. You think I'm a murderer? I thought it was something serious. Far out. You scared me for a second there. 13 years prior, this guy murders his partner, his pregnant partner, and he also murders her 3-year-old child. Now, this guy goes to prison, thankfully. Somehow, during this time, he's actually allowed to be escorted out and taken to his parents' house so he can visit them. He's actually allowed to do this a couple times. Somehow. The day prior to me going to the Green Line, he visits his parents with a 7-man police guard. Little did they know, he and his father actually planned to escape that day. So like I said, the day prior to me going to the Green Line with my uncle, he and his father escape a 7-man police guard somehow, and a massive manhunt happens to try and find these 2 men. So the mother is interrogated, okay? And she admits that they are going to the Green Line, the same place that, for some reason, we told them that we're going. They wanted to go to the Green Line, cross the border, and escape to Colombia. So this guy is driving with his father to the Green Line. I am with a man who can reasonably be assumed to be my father based on the age difference. And we are also going to the Green Line because, for some reason, we told them that's what we were going to do. Can you see the problem that's happening right now? They show me a picture of this guy, okay?
Can you show me the picture of the guy again?
This one. You look like.
Oh, you're doing watching.
Yes, but look, this one, this picture, there. Very good.
Τούτος έχει τόσα μαλλιά, εκείνος είναι...
Άσχετο τα μαλλιά. Άλλες έτσι από τούτα να μας ξεγελάσουν.
Thanks.
Don't say it. He doesn't look like me. I have hair, okay?
Thanks.
Have a nice holiday, yeah?
Ευχαριστώ.
Θα πάτε στο καλό. Θα πάτε στο καλό, γεια σου. Είδα τον
Yes.
He's a killer. He went to Paphos to his parents with the police and he escaped. But they are stupid. You don't look like him.
Oh my God.
Malagas.
What a...
They apologize, they thank me, and they leave. We get back in the car, chuck the AC and the Cypriot music back on, and we start heading back to our destination. So after that brief run-in with the law, we've stopped at this section where it's sort of on top of a mountain. So this sort of road is where they partition it off, so if there's a fire, it stops. But pretty much where that is, across from that is the UN buffer zone. All of this is the Green Line, the UN buffer zone. So my uncle was telling me that recently someone had put up a massive sign saying the village name, so you know that that was the road that you go down. So we're driving for about an hour and a half down this road. We get to the point where the GPS says that we have to go down. I look to the right where we have to turn, and there's this massive, recently laid down helipad. And a little bit further up is like this military base. So I'm like, okay, I don't think this is the place. I mean, even if it is, we probably should not go down there. And my uncle also says that it's not the entrance. So we continue going down. We drive past maybe like 1 or 2 sort of entrances, but they don't look like you can necessarily take your car down, except for this one that had like this warning sign on it saying, warning on the way to Turkish occupied area. But we looked at that one and my uncle said that that's not the one. I can see on the map as we're driving that the village is getting away from us. So we must have definitely passed the entrance, okay? So I say, let's turn around. We're driving down this road and I'm looking for this big sign. I'm looking for a massive sign with the name of the village on it, and I can't see it. But we get to the entrance where there's the warning where it says, warning, Turkish occupied area, okay? And we're looking a little bit closer, and there's this tiny little sign about this big, and it's been flipped upside down, and I notice that it has written handwriting on it saying like, go down here to the village. Okay, we found it. That's good. That's a good thing. We found the village.
Here, left. This. Fucking the bastards, they take off the sign. You see? They put the sign. This is for, you see?
Yeah.
It says, and they show this way. They probably someone make a sabotage.
The thing is, my uncle was told this, so we're both expecting to see like a big sign. We find this little sign, but we found the entrance, finally. So we start heading down this road, and the road isn't that bad. It's a bit rocky, but there's actually like fresh tire marks that have been there, which, you know, made me a little bit paranoid, but I'm like, okay, you know what, that's fine. Let's continue going. So we continue going down. We get to the barbed wire zone. There's deer that's running around. Like, it's getting real at this point. So we go through the barbed wire and continue driving, and we see the church that is next to the fence, the big old fence. So we decide to stop there. So we've come into the UN buffer zone, as you can tell by the barbed wire. We're just stopping first at the church here. So every Easter, they actually open it up Oh, you can come and, you know, celebrate Easter. Now, this church you can actually visit during Easter and Christmas. The UN does actually allow people who are from the village to go visit this church. Let's have a look around. A couple men from England actually came and helped renovate this church. And there's a bell here. My cousin Mario actually has a story where they came and visited here. Whilst he was talking to his uncle, his daughter started ringing the bell. The uncle freaked out. He was like, the Turks are they're gonna see us, they're gonna come. And like, I mean, even here, you can see there's a base up there. So we've got to be a little bit careful. And then if we come around, this is the gate to get into the town where the houses are up there. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't shitting myself, but you know, I definitely am. This is definitely a weird thing to be doing, you know, especially seeing that army base up the top. It's, you know, yeah, but you know, this is what I wanted to do and I'm doing it. So we go through the barbed wire opening and we continue down the road that we're meant to go down, and like, it's getting really bad. It's super rocky, there's holes everywhere. The Ford Fiesta is like, it's struggling at this point. I'm scraping the shit out of the bottom of the car. It's obvious that people haven't gone down this road in a long time. Shit. Okay. I'm also trying to be careful because I don't want to damage this car. It's not my car, it's rented, and honestly, like, the excess is $1,000. That $1,000 could go to my family to pay for my funeral. You know what I mean? We eventually make it to the houses, and so I park behind this big bush that blocks the view of the Turkish military base that sits on the hill that can see the whole village. But finally, I'm glad we finally made it. Okay, getting here is not easy in a Ford Fiesta. There's rocks all over the road that I've had to throw to the side. I've parked behind this bush, and behind the bush on top of the mountain is an army base. So park behind there so it can hide it. This one was a coffee shop. Fuck. There's roof tiles everywhere. Electricity. Shit. So this was a cafe they used to have, a local cafe. Oh shit. Whoa. This car's been sitting here for 50 years. Is the engine still there? Dude, even the glass from the window. That's the main town, and then on top of that is the fucking army base. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, there's a book here. Door doesn't budge. You can see a bit of the roof falling apart. Maybe a kitchen here. You've got to be careful of snakes around here. Whoa. It's Pepsi bottles. And then charred remains of what was the roof. And just all the tiles everywhere. Look at this. The roof came down, destroyed the bed. Fucking hell. Someone's boots. Drugs. This must have been maybe a bathroom. Man. Someone's clothing. Another book. Some sort of book. There's dates on it from 1939 to 1955. Hard to see if there's like a newspaper or something. This looks like maybe it was a newspaper, but it's just sort of shredded everywhere. It's weird to walk through what was someone's home and see very old newspapers and see like their medication, some drinks around. It's just one house, you know? I don't want to be in sight of that fucking army base. Got to get down and stay low, because if they send someone, I'm blocking the road, so they'll definitely know that we're here, but also I don't want to get myself or my uncle in trouble.
I make a mistake. This is the Gafaneo.
Ah.
50 years down. More.
Is your house close by?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that. Shell. Oh, fuck. A little lizard ran off, but Shell motor oil. It's a battery, I think. Yeah, it's a battery. Whoa. Look at this lock. My God. It feels like it's going to fall apart. Bed, again. Roof's come off. Fallen onto the bed. The tiles everywhere. Imagine what's under this rubble. This is inside the cafe. I can only sort of stick my head in because the rubble is blocking the door. There's a house up there that says camp on it. Someone's written camp. Maybe the UN has some stuff in there. It's very strange. When you come into here...
This is the Gafaneo.
This one?
Yeah, this for sure.
Okay. This one's a Gafaneo. You can tell because all tiles. And then another room. But the roof hasn't fallen in. You can still see the wiring of in the roof. What's this? Lenites, Limassol, Cyprus. Old jerry can. My family knows the owners of this house. It's weird. It seems like they've just stripped a bunch of stuff, like the light switches, just all the things in the sink. It's just like mostly bare, unless it's a house that had the roof cave in. Seems like everything's been taken if the roof hasn't, you know, fallen in and hidden stuff underneath it.
This is Johannes and Gelodina's house. They live in Australia too.
Oh my God.
Most of us live in Australia.
So you know how to name all the different houses and who they belong to.
Yeah. Vasilis lives in Nicosia. My house.
This is your house?
Yes.
Just a little bottle up there.
Furnos, we make bread. And the toilet behind.
This is the furno here.
Babutsosika.
What's a babotsosika?
This
The cactus?
cactus. And we had another house, but nothing left
It's all gone.
behind.
Can't believe how many houses are destroyed here. I mean, this is a small village, you know what I mean? Still some shoes. Oh, maybe we can get a date. This is definitely 70s stuff. But this is German. This is a German magazine. There's got to be a date somewhere. Wow, that's a risky ad for 1970s, man. Stuff like this makes you just wonder what people lived like, you know? What was their day-to-day life? What did they do for fun, you know? Who lived here? And then there's a German magazine. You're like, oh, well, that's strange. Is there someone German who lived here? It's interesting. They've got power lines here. So they've got new power lines. You can tell that the UN or whoever has rummaged through a lot of the things down here, but for the most part, it's actually very untouched. You don't want to disturb it. You don't want to move it because it's a time capsule, you know? It's crazy. The landscape is just beautiful.
This was cut, this tree was cut, and you see they came back. The people cut for wood. It was a big tree. Now they came back, you know? Olives always come back. From here, straight up, used to be a hole. Let's go if we find it. Okay? It was my father's.
Can you see it?
Yeah, here. But
How big was it?
it was a hole and going down.
Oh, like a well?
Used to be a rope,
Yeah.
too, but must have gone.
While my uncle looked for his well, I noticed that I don't have the keys on me, and so I start freaking out. Hopefully I left them in the car, and hopefully the car is still there. So I start making my way back to the car. Again, this has to be the most dangerous thing that I've done. It doesn't help that the night before, I'm looking at videos online and info, and there's people saying like, it's dangerous, don't go, you could get killed. There are 3 authorities looking down on it, and people are even saying that there are sensors there that track if people go into the green line. And so I'm fully paranoid now, for myself and for my uncle, yeah? But I try to forget about it because this gives me an opportunity to go and see some of the houses that I had missed. I get to the car, the keys are in there, I take them, good. I continue looking around. I see this house that's high on the hill, right? And it looks pretty nice. It looks like it would have been a really nice house back in the day. And for the most part, it actually looks like it's been untouched, except for like the new power line that's running to it for some reason. But I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going in there. And far out, what a gem it was.
This looks like it was a beautiful house at one point. Wow. Whoa. Original chairs, still here. It's weird to see the furniture.
Most of the other houses were either destroyed or stripped of parts and furniture, but this house seemed fairly untouched. I go to open the door to one of the rooms.
What the fuck was that?
And something massive behind the door crashes and falls down. I'm like, okay, cool. But I think, okay, I'm gonna continue anyway. And so I go into the room.
Oh no. I just heard a fucking beep. I just heard a fucking beep.
There's a beep. There was a beep. I stopped the recording in case like I imagined it, yeah? And so I start watching back the clip.
Just reviewed the footage, there's definitely a beep.
And both the camera and the microphone audio, you can clearly hear a beep. Is it the squeak when I open the door? It can't be that because like the door doesn't move at that point. When I go through the door, I look above me because that's where the beep was. And the beep goes off exactly when I cross into the room. And then I remember the sensors, the electricity running to the house. It's time to go. At least I tell myself that, but I continue filming stuff quickly because content, right? Fuck. Like, how can you blame me? It's the most interesting house in the village.
I actually heard a beep, and I know they have triggers in some areas, like Nicosia Airport, to tell them that people are here. So I actually think I have to go. I think we have to go.
I head back and I don't want to alarm him, so I don't say anything. He's also looking at the place that he grew up in, like still trying to find the well, but like this might be the last time that he has the opportunity to go see the place that he grew up in. So I didn't want to interrupt that. So I don't know what to do except like try to like egg him on and say like, yeah, maybe we should go now. But it doesn't work.
Ame?
So I'm thinking like, what can I do to speed this up? How can I get out of here quicker? And I think, okay, you know what? I'm gonna find this well. I'm gonna find the well. I start speed running to try find this well. I find it pretty quickly. And I'm like, all right, here's the well.
Yo, in εδώ.
It's so close, huh?
Yeah, next to the house. Probably when you were younger, it felt like it was far away.
How come I thought it was far away? Maybe because I was little,
Yeah,
the distance.
exactly, yeah.
This is next to the house, eh?
Yeah,
With the hole.
yeah. With the rocks.
Oh, so close. How come I thought it was too far? My father and my mother used to go down and clean every summer.
Ah,
Look, they put a tube. Maybe it's the toilet, mate. But what is the tube there for?
which tube?
It's a bottle. Once my sister's wallet fell. And we brought one, we call it Danger, Mr. Danger, at beginning. And it was fucking, they pinch everything, right?
Yeah.
It was like a marble on the top
Yeah.
for the hole.
Ah.
You remove the top and probably it's in, you know. I think this is the toilet, Mike.
At this point, I accepted my fate. Whoever comes, comes. Like, whatever happens, happens, right? It's like, it's way too late now. I'm standing here waiting to leave, and I can't. So I just take the opportunity to go and look at the beautiful surroundings. I take a couple breaths, and I start to relax. And finally, it actually helps because he tells me he wants to go. And so we head back to the car. When we get back in the car, I put the SD card into my underwear in case they, try and strip search me or something, because like, I'm not losing the content, okay? We continue down the rocky road, except this time I'm a little bit more panicked, so I'm driving a lot quicker, which is not the best thing in the world because, again, I'm like destroying the bottom of this car and I'm making sounds as if I'm like pregnant or something.
Come on. Yeah. Shit.
And it feels like the road's just even longer than it ever was. But finally, we get to the main road and I relax. Mind you, like 30 minutes has passed at this point. So once we get there, I just feel this sign of relief. We got out of the car and he goes and fixes the sign. We get back in, I take him home and I head back to civilization. I made it out. I made it in and I made it out as well. And I'm still here to tell the story. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. There are way more adventures that I go on, so make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. And why haven't you, right? Get excited because there are more vlogs more often. There's home renovation vlogs and whatever videos I decide to cook up in my head. So thanks again for watching and I'll see you later.